Namaste everyone and welcome to OpIndia. The National Herald case is again in news with ED issuing summons to Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. A lot of young people do not know much about this old case, so why not try to understand what exactly the issue is about? Today with us we have Mr. Sumeet Mehta, who is a chartered accountant by profession and a columnist and has been following this case for many years. Namaste, Sumitji. Why don't we start with you elaborating the entire case in simple words so that our audiences get hang of the National Herald case?
Thank you, Siddhi and OpIndia, and good evening to all my viewers. Now, National Herald was a scam which happened in around 2011-12. During that period, Congress-led UPA government was in power. Let us go into history. In 1930s, Jawaharlal Nehru started a newspaper called National Herald. The intent of the newspaper was to generate interest and awareness about what is happening with the freedom movement. It was started under the aegis of a company called as Associated Journals Limited, AJL. Okay, and various people, who supported India's independence, who supported the movement, they funded this whole newspaper. So this included people like Shanti Bhushan's father, and very eminent people like Lalit Hotels and the founders of Lalit Hotels, and those kind of people invested money in this particular company. Okay, AJL,
Yeah,
to start
yeah.
the newspaper. After independence, we started to see a whole, uh, we can say, crony capitalism or fraud or whatever words you can use, where government started giving properties to associated journals that was controlled by Nehru free of cost. Lielelo, you can build
Mm-hmm.
buildings, and similarly they got a land in Delhi on which the current building of National Herald stands.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is the background. Now after a few years, over a period of time, Nehru, then Indira, then Rajiv, finally Sonia, people lost interest. They also lost interest in running the newspaper. So the newspaper went into whatever we call it, it was closed.
Ji.
Now they wanted the property, and the property was not just in Delhi. Now this was a prime area in Delhi, like the VIP area, where the land is like it is worth more than gold and diamonds. But they got lands in various other places across the country during the Congress rule because they were owned by Nehru family, controlled by Nehru family.
Ji.
So they created a whole scam wherein first thing during that period, okay, I'll go back one more data point. During that period, over a period of time, National Herald started making losses, but Congress kept on supporting it.
Yeah.
And over a period of time, Congress had given 90 crores and 25 lakhs to National Herald. Okay,
Ji.
they gave 90 crores 25 lakhs to National Herald, and now National Herald or associated journals could not repay that money. Now this kind of transaction between a political party and a newspaper, that is something which is a big question. How can political party keep on funding these kind of things?
Correct.
We will not see it anywhere. First point. So that was the first thing where they were technically wrong. A political party can give advertisements, but giving loans to political party cannot give loans to any business enterprise. And
Yeah.
Associated Journals was a business enterprise. Now the scam started because they wanted to take over the property. In very cheap words, we can say it is hathiya lena tha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they wanted to grab the property. So what they did is they created a new company known as Young Indian, in which Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi both held 38% each, and balance 24% was held by Motilal Vora and Oscar Fernandez. So that is how 100% was shareholding. This was the shareholding pattern. So basically the intent, and then what they did, then Congress said that we are transferring the 99 crore 59 lakhs balance. We are transferring it to Young Indians.
Ji.
How can the loan balance be transferred to a private company, another company? It
Ji.
is like one political party giving away that I have to take money, but now I will not take in a private limited company. And who owns that private limited company? It is owned by technically by Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi.
Ji.
So if political party has given money, they have to recover it, because public has given that money for elections and for running a political party, and not for creating financial empires and personal wealth of the owners of that political party.
जी,
There is two different things. Okay. Now, what did Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi thereafter do in Young Indians? In Young Indians, they did a very funny thing. They said that National Herald cannot repay the loan, so we'll convert it into equity.
okay,
And equity, when they decided to convert, what they did. Now, if they converted into equity and they took 99% stake in Associated Journals, with 90 crore rupees, they got 99% stake in a company that had assets of more than 2000 crores, and it is being debated that it is around 5000 crores.
जी,
Now, if you have, I'll just give pure maths. As a chartered accountant, I talk about mathematics. While I'm not in practice, I'm a chartered accountant by qualification and a corporate finance professional.
जी,
So if I look at numbers, if I am a corporate finance professional and I want to buy, or rather say, I want to buy a stake in a part or a partnership, I want to become a partner in a company that has 5000 crore rupees of assets, or rather it is a property, it is not a company, running company. How much do I have to pay if I am, say, assuming me and you are, you have a property worth 5000 crores.
जी,
Now, if I have to take 99% stake in that property, I have to pay you 4,990 4,950 crore rupees.
जी,
They got it for as low as less than 90 crores. So it is a
okay,
4,000 crore for more than 4,000 crore rupees scam over there. First point.
okay,
You cannot cheat. Now, here, what is the point? Why is this a scam? Because in any company, the minority shareholders, like I could be, when I invest in shares of a company, I'm a minority shareholder. When the management of that company says that, okay, now we are taking away, we have created a new company and we are taking 99% stake. That new company is taking 99% stake. So what happens is, in very simple language, the earlier shareholders who had a overall control over 5000 crore rupees, they now effectively have control of only 50 crores.
जी,
9000 4950 crores is washed away. It has
जी,
gone to Gandhi family. So this is the real scam. This is the moral, it is a moral responsibility of the directors of the company. It is the moral responsibility of the majority shareholders, which in this case is Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, and the Gandhi family, to
जी,
ensure that the rights of the minority shareholders is not looted or deprived. They are not deprived of their rights. So
जी,
this is where the scam started. This is the scam.
जी. Sir, in this all give and take of loan money and properties by the Gandhi family, who are the actual parties who have been mostly affected by these transactions?
See, actual party who is affected by this transaction is, first, it is the minority shareholders of Associated Journals. So people like Shanti Bhushanji, then other all shareholders. And why I'm taking his name is because he made it public that he will be filing a case against Sonia Gandhi, because that was a case of moral turpitude. It is, in company law, I'll not get into technicals because, it will be boring for youngsters, but
जी,
it is known as mismanagement of the company. Imagine I am a director, I am the promoter and director of a company. You have invested money in my company, and if I do fraud and I wipe out the money of the company, then you are losing money.
जी,
So that is a fraud, that is mismanagement. And these people are affected. And I had interviewed Shanti Bhushan ji in when for a financial magazine from Bombay, when he said this. And he very clearly said that, see, Sumit, this is wrong. And I have read the law in Companies Act also, it is very clear that they can sue them. And these all minority shareholders are the first loser. Second is the government itself, because the land was given to National Herald for running a media house, for running a publication, for furthering the work of journalism. What
जी,
they are now doing, now they are, first thing is the newspaper is closed. Now it is a land grab operation wherein they have taken over the land. Now they will be only living on rent, because part of the building is leased out to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, External Affairs, and
जी,
they're getting rent from that. So, it is the land which was given to run a newspaper has now become a private property of Gandhis. and they are only wanting to earn rent on it rather than running the newspaper. So if they are not running the newspaper, the land should be returned to the government.
Correct.
Why are they keeping it with themselves when they are not running a newspaper and using that land only to enrich themselves?
जी.
That too out of rental income earned from the government.
जी.
So this
Sir,
is,
yeah, sir, Congress leader Abhishek Manu Singhvi also recently said that technically there was no fraud in this case, and it only involved conversion of debt into equity to pay off the dues like salaries. So this is a flag point, I think, and I want to understand that can a debt be actually converted into equity, and what is wrong
yes.
in that? What is wrong in
See,
that?
it can be converted. I was involved in a transaction where a company was not able to repay the debt. So they converted part of the loan into equity. They gave the equity to the bank, and part of the money they got in from a venture capitalist who was ready to repay the loan, some loan. And that happens. Now, where Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who is an excellent lawyer, but he is not a chartered accountant, he has willingly as a lawyer hidden the facts, or the part of the truth is the loan happens when loan is converted. Say now I am National Herald and Gandhi family has given me 90 crore rupees, and I'm not able to repay. I have to give them equity. Fair
जी.
enough. I agree with that in totality, and it happens because अगर तुम मुझे पैसा वापस नहीं कर सकते तो प्रॉपर्टी में से हिस्सा दे दो. As simple as that.
जी.
But how much will I get for give if I have assets of 2,000 crore rupees, assuming that is one number, other number is 5,000. Now, officially valuation of the property is not done. But if we take 2,000 crore also on the lower side and 5,000 on the higher side, in both cases, I will give numbers. If it is 2,000 crores and I have to repay 90 crores, okay, so
जी.
it is, we can say it is 4.5-5% maximum. On round figure 100 crores kiya to 5% is what I have to pay. I have to
जी.
give equity of 5%. So I say that, see, my assets are valued at 2,000 crores. I have to pay 90 crores. अब थोड़ा ज़्यादा ले लो, एक काम करो, 100 crores I will repay you. So with interest and everything, or as a equity conversion, give you 5% equity in the company. Okay. And I'll give them 5% equity stake.
Yeah.
Now here, instead of 5%, it is 99%. Even assuming it
Okay.
is 2%, 2,000 crore rupees, 99% of that is removed, 20 crores. So against 90 crore rupees of loan, they have got 1,980 crore rupees worth of shares.
Correct.
So that is something which is wrong. So Abhishek Manu Singhvi, when he has tried to defend Gandhi family, he has forgotten this maths.
Yeah, he's
And
hiding
he
the
is trying to,
facts.
second thing is what is wrong is when you are doing this conversion, you have to, as I said earlier, the interest of the minority shareholders have to be taken into account. And
Yeah.
that is something he is not wanting to discuss, that what happens if I give myself 99% stake, then what happens to the minority who are earlier majority shareholders?
They are due.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So this is a fraud. So
Correct.
Abhishek Manu Singhvi, this is what he has partially hidden. And this maths is very important.
Correct. So now that some of the basic details about the case are up, so the next thing obviously comes to my mind is about the shareholders. So as you said, as we discussed it before, do the shareholders have right to say in the financial or technical matters of the company, the minority shareholders? And if
Yes, very
yes,
much so.
yeah, if yes, so
Yes.
then why are the shareholders of AGL not taking any action against Sonia Gandhi and her son?
Yes, exactly. Rather, I had made a statement that even I would like to be a shareholder, because if I get one share, I can also file a case against the government, rather against Sonia Gandhi. Then she was the government effectively.
जी.
Now here, there are provisions in company law which protect the minority shareholders against this kind of mismanagement, or there's something called operation, because OPPRESSION, operation of the
Yeah.
shareholders, minority shareholders. So they can go to National Company Law Tribunal, NCLT, and they can say that this is a wrong thing being done, and Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi and Motilal Vora are misusing their powers as the director of the company for their personal enrichment at the cost of the minority shareholders. They can do it. But now what is happening is that, and if you Google, Mr. Shanti Bhushan himself said that he will file a case, and I had interviewed him for Money Life, and he said very clearly on that how he got the shares and what is the problem. It is very clearly explained, which I have explained in this case. But why they have not filed, there can be various reasons, including fear, because then she was in power.
Hmm.
So probably many people wouldn't have the courage to take action against her. Second thing is, even now, either there could be fear or there could be a kind of shame that why do we get into a mess with Gandhis, because there can be other implications on
Correct.
various fronts. So, and there are some very big people involved who are shareholders of this particular company. So they may not like bad press that they were initially involved with Congress so closely that they have funded it and everything. So there could be a lot of under relationship with Gandhi family. Even that would be that if there is a loss, जाने दो क्या फर्क पड़ता है. पैसा गया तो गया. That could also be one of the rationales. So all those mixed. It's a very complicated case, but if there is an independent shareholder who has no linkage or personal friendship with Gandhi family, who since independence has never got benefited from Gandhi family in some way or the other, because many of the people would have got benefited in terms of getting licenses during Nehru and Indira and Rajiv Gandhi's tenures. So then, there is a mix. आपको तब लाइसेंस दिया था, लाइसेंस के सामने पैसे नहीं लिए, because that was a big
जी.
scam which was happening during that tenure, during that license Raj pre Narasimha Rao period, which Narasimha Rao actually dismantled that license permit quota Raj. So अरे तुम तो शेयर होल्डर थे इसलिए तुम लोगों को ये सस्ते में मिला, फ्री में मिला लाइसेंस, and you could do black marketing and many things. I'm not
Correct.
accusing all the shareholders there, but there could be some few shareholders who could be in that category also who got licenses permission. So that is why they are also that we have benefited. तो जाने दो क्या फर्क पड़ता है.
जी.
Even that could
So
be a reason.
yeah. So when the Congress is not in power now, so what do you think is holding them back now?
I think the old relations, the business that they have done, the benefits they have got then, and why waste money? This could be like a few lakhs of rupees of, I have few lakhs of rupees.
जी.
Now, Shanti Bhushan's father had 5 shares. What is the value of 5 shares? So
Yeah.
then they would have invested money. That why spoil relations for such a small amount? And
Correct.
during that period, see again here we have to know it is a public limited company, though it is not listed. So then Jawaharlal Nehru and other Congress leaders would have said, "Ki, if they know you, Siddhi ji, please give some money. So you will give 500 rupees. Then 500 rupees was a princely sum.
Hmm.
500 rupees, but you gave 500 rupees. So now for you, now it would be 5 lakh rupees, but you have become so big that you will say, why worry about 5 lakh rupees? Why drag ourselves in the controversy? Because there will be bad press against us. There would be files of your things that Congress would be having. And if you file the case, then those files will come out with some, compliant media people like say Rajdeep and all. They will get the copies of those files and they will remove those cases. So they'll say, अगर हमने भी कुछ गलत तो किया ही है तो जाने दो, अब चुप बैठते हैं, जाने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. Even
जी.
that could be the reason. Fear of Congress could even now be, even that could be the reason. So there are many reasons for this.
Yeah. While this is getting more interesting, I would like to mention here that many people of my age are actually interested in startups and stock markets. So, do you think this highly publicized case is important for them from the viewpoint of protecting minority shareholder rights?
Yes, very much. See, we had it in our syllabus in company law in CA final,
जी.
and the provisions. I don't want to get into technicals because it will be very boring for youngsters. They'll say "pakane lag gaya hai ye." But there are provisions in section 241 to 246 of the Companies Act, which ensures that if in case you have invested money in a startup, then you or any company for that matter, even companies like say Tata Birla, Ambani, Adani, anyone, if you feel that the company is doing anything wrong which is hurting your interest as a shareholder, as a minority shareholder, the management and the majority shareholder or the promoters of the company, they are getting undue benefits because they are in power in the company and they are mismanaging the company. You can go to National Company Law Board, Tribunal, and you can file a case against them under these provisions 241 to 246 of the Companies Act. And you have to have a good lawyer, you have to explain the position in the court, and it is like a court only, tribunal. And accordingly the court or the tribunal will give a judgment, and you can go to the extent of saying that I want this person to be removed. So tomorrow if I am the shareholder and I am filing case against management, say XYZ, Ambani, Adani, anyone, Birla, I can even say that remove him and put someone else as the managing director of the company. I can go to that extent and file a case.
Ji,
So that is a possibility.
ji. Since the summons have been issued, sir, what do you think? What is the role of government in this case? What can or should the government do now?
See, government has taken the right action. First thing is they initiated inquiry action against income tax under income tax, because on a 90 crore rupee loan, if you are getting 1,900 crore rupees worth of assets, okay, so technically you have made a profit of more than 1,900, 1,800 crores odd, okay, in the minimum. So on that there is a tax liability for young Indians. So technically there is a tax liability for Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. If
Ji,
the company does not have money, then the assets will be freezed and sold and the tax will be recovered. So government has taken the right decision. Now, beyond that, the government can also suo moto take action under the same provisions of removing uh, Congress nominees from the board of Young Indians and take over the company. Sorry, not that. They can do that in AJL, Associated Journals. They can reverse it. They can take over the control and say that this is wrong. So even that is possible. They can also cancel the allotment because this money is not used for the purpose of publication, and this money is used for commercial activities which are not related to publishing of news or running of a newspaper.
ji,
So even the land allotment can be cancelled if government wishes to. So these are the three things which the government can do. Along with that, government can take action if it is proved substantially, and it takes time in the court. See, courts run in a very slow manner, and
correct,
we as
correct.
we also feel when we are doing some corporate restructuring where we have to go to the high court for a permission, we tell our clients that 6 महीना लगेगा भैया, कम नहीं, because courts work at that speed.
Yeah,
So 6 months is something, and this is a criminal case. So there is a criminal conspiracy, there is a fraud. All those cases can also be, and those cases are also being heard. So that can be taken action in the court once proved. Then they can, be punished for those under those provisions of law also.
ji. Sir, my last question, coming to the last question, that would be kind of hypothetical one. Since the so-called secular and liberal class people largely believe in the policies of US, assume if such kind of fraud, confusing financial fraud happens there, what maximum punishment are fraudsters expected to face?
Jail, and it would happen at a much faster pace. You can look at your viewers, the youngsters, they can look at the case of Rajat Gupta, a very high flying corporate top, big gun and everything, and when he got embroiled in the controversy, immediately he was thrown in jail. The judgments don't take time like in India, Tariq pe Tariq, like what Sunny Deol had made that statement in that movie, hmm?
Ji,
Amini. There the courts are very efficient, and here they may get away with some penalties, and all over there they will have to sit in the jail. If it is American system, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi will have to sit in jail for
and
this
what
fraud.
is, yeah, and according to the Indian's law, what is the maximum penalizing punishment in India?
See, right now there is no clear how the case will go and how the prosecution will run the case. So saying that, but yeah, one thing is clear: if the case is going in the right manner and the in the right pace, first thing is clear: they will lose control over the land, they lose control over Associated Journals Limited, and they will have to pay a penalty for all these things. At least penalty is there. Whether they will go to jail or not under criminal conspiracy and the fraud, that is secondary, but they will have to pay a penalty. They will have, and they will have to lose the property. That is very clear.
Ji. So whatever I have gathered so far from this conversation is the case has two aspects. One is technical and another is ethical. So technical frauds, of course, court will be deciding. But as a common tax-paying citizen, I don't understand that taxpayer-funded assets, how taxpayer-funded assets of thousands of crores over a long period of, through a series of complex transactions are today under the direct control of Gandhi family. Like you mentioned that the AGL building in Bandra is on a land that was originally meant for building a hostel for Dalit students, but now it is a commercial building controlled by Gandhis. How ethical is this? So I don't think no anybody has answers to this, right?
Exactly. See, this is where the fraud is, because they were in power and they started accumulating wealth in this particular company. And see, what happens is they can say, oh, we are a company started by Nehruji, and we were running newspaper. Now nobody talks because they are in power. Nobody will say कि कितनी copy छप रही है.
जी.
Show us the circulation. Show us where is the last publication. They had stopped publication. And then too, they keep on getting land and they build properties. Imagine, yani, this is a clear case of fraud, that they are using their power in the government and that position to take over, kind of siphon of public land, make it private land into a company which was meant to be doing the business of media. And now they are only becoming landlords and land grabbers. Unfortunate, extremely unfortunate.
जी. All right. Thank you, Sumeet for joining in the conversation and giving us such significant insights on the case and letting our audiences know about the scam in the National Herald case. Thank you for joining in, sir. Namaste.
Thank you very much for inviting. Thank you very much.